Jake and Sarah live in the same American city, work similar jobs, and each earn $100,000 per year. They also have the same amount of money saved, $130,000. To keep an emergency fund, they each set aside $15,000. That leaves $115,000 available for their housing decision. They find a comparable home priced at $500,000. Jake wants to buy it. He likes the idea of having a permanent place of his own. Sarah sees things differently. She does not know where she will be in 5 years. She may move for a better job, travel, or live in another state. Jake wants roots. Sarah wants options. Both decisions sound reasonable, but over the next 20 years, every dollar they use will follow a different path. Jake uses $100,000 as a 20% down payment. He spends another $15,000 on closing costs. That includes lender fees, inspections, title costs, and prepaid expenses.
Jake now has a $400,000 mortgage. For this example, we will use a 30-year fixed mortgage at 6.75%. His monthly principal and interest payment is approximately $2,594, but that is not the complete cost of owning the home. Jake also pays property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, and homeowners association fees. Together, these costs add approximately $1,275 per month. So Jake's initial total housing cost is close to $3,870 per month. Now, here is an important detail. Not every dollar of Jake's mortgage payment builds wealth. During the first month, roughly $2,250 goes toward interest. Only about $344 reduces the amount Jake owes the bank. That $344 becomes home equity. Home equity simply means the value of the home minus the remaining mortgage. The interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and homeowners association fees are the cost of owning the home. Jake is building wealth, but he is also paying a lot of money to own and maintain the property. Sarah rents a comparable home for $3,000 per month. She does not pay property taxes, homeowners insurance, or repair bills. If the water heater breaks, she calls the landlord. Sarah invests the $115,000 she did not use for the down payment and closing costs. She also invests the difference between her rent and Jake's total housing cost. Jake's initial monthly cost is about $3,870. Sarah's rent is $3,000. So Sarah starts with approximately $870 per month to invest. She puts the money into a diversified index fund that owns small pieces of many companies. But this strategy only works if Sarah actually invests. She has to keep contributing when the market falls. She has to stay patient when financial news becomes frightening. And she has to resist spending the money on a newer car, more expensive vacations, or a larger lifestyle. The spreadsheet assumes discipline. Real people do not always behave like spreadsheets. To keep this comparison simple, we will assume the home increases in value by 3% per year. Rent increases by 3% per year. Jake's property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs also increase over time. Sarah's investments earn an average return of 7% per year. That does not mean the market earns exactly 7% every year. Some years may be positive, some years may be negative. This is simply an average assumption for the experiment. We are also keeping the tax situation simple. Real results will depend on mortgage rates, location, taxes, maintenance, investment returns, and personal behavior. Now, let's see what happens. 5 years pass. Jake's home is now worth approximately $580,000. His mortgage balance has fallen to roughly $376,000. That gives him approximately $204,000 in home equity. Sarah's investment portfolio has grown to approximately $216,000. At first, the numbers are almost identical. Jake owns a home, Sarah owns a portfolio. But then Jake's water heater fails. The repair costs $1,200. Sarah's landlord pays for her repair. This does not mean Sarah's housing is free. She still pays rent every month. It simply means she has less responsibility for unexpected repairs. Now, imagine Jake receives a dream job offer in another state. He can move, but he has to decide what to do with the house. He may need to sell it, pay selling costs, and wait for a buyer. Or he can rent it out and become a long-distance landlord. Sarah can give notice, pack her belongings, and move. Here's something almost nobody mentions when people say buying is automatically better. Selling a house can be expensive. If Jake sold the home for $580,000, a 6% selling cost could take approximately $35,000.
After 20 years, the investment strategy that looked excellent on paper may not exist in real life. Her original $115,000, growing at 7%, would become approximately $445,000. But without the monthly contributions, she loses the biggest part of her advantage. This is why a mortgage can act like forced saving. Jake does not need to decide every month whether he feels motivated to build equity. His mortgage payment makes that decision for him. Sarah can become wealthier by renting, but she must consistently do the work. The financial numbers are important, but housing is also an emotional decision. Jake may value raising a family in one place. He may enjoy knowing that nobody can decide not to renew his lease. He can paint the walls, remodel the kitchen, and make the home his own. For Jake, the home is more than an investment. It is where his life happens. Sarah may value a different kind of freedom. When she receives a dream job offer in another state, she can accept it without trying to sell a home. She can keep her money invested across thousands of companies instead of concentrating her wealth in one property. For Sarah, her portfolio is more than an investment. It represents options. Before deciding whether to buy or rent, ask 4 questions. How long will you stay?
That could erase much of his early equity growth. This is why buying usually works better when you plan to stay for many years. At the 10-year mark, Jake's home is worth approximately $672,000. His remaining mortgage is about $341,000. That gives him roughly $331,000 in equity. Sarah's investment portfolio is worth approximately $339,000. Once again, the result is very close, but their monthly expenses are beginning to look different. Sarah's original $3,000 rent has increased to approximately $4,000 per month. Jake's principal and interest payment is still about $2,594. That is one of the biggest advantages of a fixed-rate mortgage. The principal and interest payment does not rise with rent. However, Jake's entire housing cost is not frozen. Property taxes can increase. Insurance can become more expensive. Older homes may require larger repairs. A fixed mortgage protects part of Jake's housing cost, not all of it. Jake now feels more settled. He can drill into the walls, remodel the kitchen, and make the home his own. Sarah still has more flexibility. When she receives an opportunity in another city, she can move without trying to sell a property.
Jake says, "I like knowing this is ours." Sarah says, "I like knowing I can leave if life changes." Neither one is necessarily wrong. They are paying for different benefits. Now, Jake and Sarah are both 50 years old. Jake's home is worth approximately $903,000. But because he chose a 30-year mortgage, he still owes about $226,000. His home equity is approximately $677,000. Sarah's investment portfolio is approximately $672,000. On paper, Jake is ahead by about $5,000. But this is not a complete victory for Jake. If he sells the home, a 6% selling cost on a $903,000 property would be more than $54,000. After selling costs and paying off the mortgage, Jake may have approximately $623,000 left. Sarah's portfolio is more liquid. If she needs $20,000, she can sell part of it. Jake cannot sell half of a kitchen or a portion of his backyard. Home equity is real wealth. It is just not as easy to access. But Sarah has another cost that Jake also needs to consider. Her rent has grown from $3,000 to approximately $5,400 per month. Jake's total monthly housing cost is now close to $4,900.
Jake still has 10 years left on the mortgage, but once that mortgage is completely paid off, his monthly housing cost should drop significantly. Sarah's rent has no finish line. So who is wealthier? That depends on what we are measuring. Home equity, liquid investments, housing security, monthly cash flow, or flexibility. There is no single number that captures all of those things. Now, let's change one assumption. What if Sarah's investment return averages 6% instead of 7%? Her portfolio would be approximately $555,000 after 20 years. Jake's home equity would be higher. But what if Sarah earns an average return of 8% instead?
her portfolio could grow to approximately $813,000. Now Sarah is significantly ahead in liquid financial assets. 1 percentage point may sound small, but over 20 years, compounding can turn a small difference into hundreds of thousands of dollars. The same uncertainty applies to Jake's home. If the property grows slowly, Jake's equity may be much lower. If the neighborhood performs extremely well, his equity may be much higher. There is also a third version of Sarah. Sarah rents, but she does not invest the difference. She spends the extra money instead. Maybe she buys a newer car. Maybe she takes more vacations. Maybe the money simply disappears into everyday spending.
If you may move within 3 or 4 years, buying can be risky because of closing and selling costs. How expensive is the home compared with rent? Will you actually invest the difference? And can you continue investing after buying? Buying a home does not mean retirement investing should stop. Jake can own a home and still contribute to a 401k, Roth IRA, or brokerage account. So one bought a home, the other invested instead. Who won? In our example, Jake and Sarah ended up surprisingly close. Jake built home equity and gained long-term housing security. Sarah built a liquid, diversified portfolio and kept the freedom to move. If Sarah invests consistently and home prices are expensive, renting may win. If Sarah spends the difference, buying probably wins. If Jake stays for decades, buying becomes more attractive. If Jake moves after only a few years, renting may have been the better choice. The real question is not simply, is buying better than renting? The better question is, which strategy can you follow consistently for the next 20 years? Imagine you are 30 years old today. You earn $100,000 per year. You have $130,000 saved. Would you choose Jake's home or Sarah's investment portfolio? More importantly, which future would you actually stick with? Comment Jake if you would buy. Comment Sarah if you would rent and invest. And remember, these numbers are educational examples. Real results depend on your city, mortgage rate, taxes, rent, maintenance costs, investment returns, and personal situation. The smartest financial decision isn't the one that looks best on paper. It's the one you'll still be following 20 years from now.